Another product I like to talk about is Composite Partitions. You know the max view partition for our low roof vehicles. Well, now we're expanding that to our high and mid roof vehicles. The Transit, the ProMaster, the Sprinter, the NV. High roof and low and mid roof in a windowed version, and also a version without a window for increased safety in cities. It's again designed for the same purposes of being tough, safe, and simple. In terms of toughness, we use TPO, or thermoplastic polyolefin. It's low moisture absorption, it's dimensionally stable, great energy management, so you don't have vibration like you would have in a steel partition. You're not having mold or fungus growing on it, which is terrible. And if the temperature is extreme high or low, it's not shrinking or expanding and ripping the fasteners out of the vehicle. It's also material you see often in the automotive industry. Car bumpers, interiors, they use it because it's an elastomeric compound. It's more stretchy versus a brittle plastic like ABS. In terms of why is that a benefit? It's for crash testing. It absorbs the energy better. We follow a couple of crash test standards, ISO 27956, Ece 324, for the guys who want to research and look that type of stuff out. ISO is actually two tests, plunger 1 and plunger 2. The first test, you take 50% of the payload of the vehicle. If you think of a Transit, that would be over 2,000 pounds. In a 1 meter by 1 meter span, or 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet, you load the partition with all that weight for 10 seconds, and you make sure it doesn't deflect or deform more than 300 millimeters, or about a foot. The second test, it's even more severe. It's 30% of the maximum payload of the vehicle, but it's in a very small, concentrated area. 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters, or about 4 inches by 4 inches, and concentrated in the area behind the driver, a very severe test. And again, it can't deflect or deform more than 300 millimeters, meaning the distance to the head of the driver. The Ece Test, that's more of an impact test. It replicates a collision or sudden braking in a vehicle when you might have something like a toolbox that's shooting with the momentum through the vehicle towards the driver. So a 10 kilogram weight, in our case we use a drop test from 32 feet or about 10 meters, drop it on the partition in various areas, and again, it can't deform or deflect more than 300 millimeters. You can't have any fasteners failing or ripping out. So it's a very, very severe testing for the partitions that we've passed that you know it's going to be safe. As well, the contour of the partition fits the vehicle, keeping smells, odors into the cargo area away from the cabin. Also keeping the temperature controlled in the cabin, whether you need to be hot in the winter or cool in the summer, it's helping the driver out. You notice we have a slight bump out here near the head of the driver. Precious cargo space is not sacrificed to allow maximum recline of the seat and also seat travel. So very comfortable for the driver. In terms of simple, it's two pieces, a top and a bottom. So you just bolt those pieces together with a bracket, and it's the same install for every vehicle. Carry it into the vehicle, mark the locations for drilling a plus nut hole, and then bolt the partition in place. Some additional features, areas designated for a cutout. If you want to put conduit in there, it extends past the cargo area, a second one just on the driver's side. Hand grips to make carrying it for one person easier to install in the vehicle. Some holes in the bottom for pressure differential when you're shutting the door. If you want a tight seal, you'll need to cover those holes. And all Ranger partitions come with the famous grab handle. So it's less noise, it's very safe. You have this great seat travel, and they're priced right.